right, let's see what happens here. Oh, he's got all flamey things and a devil thing.
Yep. So this is actually a pretty nefarious team he's using.
Mm-hmm.
Because his strongest is a virus, and that's the one I really need to take care of.
Yeah.
So I stupidly put nothing but vaccines on my team.
Oh.
But his 2 support guys are Data, and guess what they're strong against?
Vaccines!
Yeah, welcome to the rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. And see, my RPG instincts would have told me to take out the mooks first.
Yes, that is what you should do.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking because it has been a long time.
Right.
And 2 just got owned.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So this is the part where I decide, you know what, probably should swap these out.
Mm-hmm.
It also doesn't help that, like I said before, this team I have planned out and I balanced for the end game. This is a section of the game where this is not a very good balanced team.
Okay.
Because what's good against data types is virus, and both my virus are grass type. Guess what's strong against grass?
Fire!
If I wasn't using such a grossly overpowered team who had access to a bunch of skills
You'd be
that
toast.
you technically could get right now,
Yeah.
this would be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I can see this. Damn, they are just rocking you.
So, time to explain a couple of mechanics in this game that we haven't really been seeing because I'm New Game Plus and I've been steamrolling everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, excuse me, one of the biggest limitations in this game when you're getting started is memory.
Mm-hmm.
For those paying attention to the screen, you probably saw me pick up a couple of items called Memory Up. This is kind of the big thing to throttle, you know, what you can actually use.
Okay.
Every Digimon here costs memory.
Oh.
And the more leveled, more evolved they are, the more memory they cost.
Okay, yeah.
To the point where, like, a lot of the end game stuff costs more memory than your starting amount.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm New Game Plus, and because all of my stats and all of my Digimon carried over, I can use whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
So, at this point in the game, you wouldn't be able to field this size of a team.
Right.
Second thing, whenever you Digivolve, your Digimon goes back down to level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Digimon here are kind of in like the mid-teens, but this fight on hard mode is kind of intended for level 20s.
Oh, okay.
The thing of it is, you always want to Digivolve, because a level 1 champion is going to be stronger than a level 20 rookie, period.
Okay.
The stats are just that much of a difference.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I haven't been doing any grinding, and I haven't been doing that many side quests, so I'm a little under-leveled for this, which is why this is taking as long as it is.
It actually looks like an RPG boss battle.
Yes.
They're dealing a lot of damage, you have to heal, and you're chipping away at them until they die.
Yeah. The other thing is, I'm not really using buffs.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing through the game on normal difficulty, buffs aren't that big of a deal. But once you go into hard, you really have to start juggling your buffs, because hard mode, like, very quickly becomes no-joke mode.
That makes sense.
Like,
Speaking of buffs.
there's a boss, fairly late into the game, that when I was playing through on my first run, I had a full team of level 99 megas and super megas and about the strongest shit you can have in the game, and I couldn't beat him. That guy is no fucking joke on hard mode. So I dropped down to normal to beat him, because you can switch difficulty on the fly in this game, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then I went and tried a different boss on hard mode, and it was like, yeah, so you see the turn icons on the side there?
Mm-hmm.
He was one guy, and I could not see my team.
Holy shit!
I know! So, I'm gonna go ahead and say who he is, because we're not gonna go fight him on this run. Ultra Force Vidamon.
Okay, that means
Which
nothing to me,
is-
but I'm sure someone will care.
Okay, you see the blue dragon guy I have on my team?
Yeah.
It's one of his options for Mega.
Oh.
It's not the one we're gonna be going for.
Okay.
So, first off, its speed is crazy high normally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one of the fastest in the whole fucking game. Second, it has an ability where it's like, you're going first. Period. Then he also has Speed Boost, which is a move he can use to increase his own speed. Now take all of these things, multiply them for boss scaling, and then multiply that for hard mode scaling.
Right.
And it's like, no, fuck you. You're not getting you're not getting turns.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of the things in hard mode are completely bonkers in this game. To the point where I don't think they balanced it for hard mode.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, I think
it
in that
seems like a
fight-
lot of these supplementary modes were just kind of tacked on for the heck of it.
Yeah, cue somebody linking us to somebody beating it, no problem.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. I'm sure there are ways.
yeah, I'm sure. The other thing is I was kind of building a team based on characters I like, not actually thinking it through.
Yeah,
And that's kind of what this team we're looking at here is.
right.
Like, it's balanced for megas that I like, and I think fit the people I've put their names on,
Right.
not for actual smart team development.
Right.
Because I'm also limiting myself to all the furry characters, and one of the things you'll notice, aside from Jimmykin dancing there like a complete jackass, is a lot of Mega Digimon are just dudes in armor.
Okay.
And I wanted to avoid that as best I could to keep like the furry theme going.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
So there's a couple of characters that are crazy good that I'm not going to be using. Like, one of the options for Gatomon there, and one of the few characters that you can't get right off the bat, you have to complete certain objectives to unlock it, is a Digimon called Mastamon, which is a mix of Anjouwomon and Lady Devamon.
Oh,
That thing has a completely bonkers attack called Dimensional Crush or something like that. It hits the entire enemy team and hits them for 25% of their current health, ignoring everything else.
yeah.
That will hit bosses for a quarter of their current health.
Which is
period.
a lot. Yes.
It's not limited to 999. It's not limited by any of their defenses or resistances. No one's immune to it. It's just, yeah, you're going down to a quarter of your health. You're going down by a quarter of your health.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to be slicing off a quarter of your health every time it hits my turn.
Yeah, that's absurd.
She is bonkers. She is so grossly powerful.
Yeah.
The downside is I don't think you can buff that attack. So
No.
it ignores all defenses and stuff.
Well, it ignores everything. I think that's the point of the attack.
Yeah, which is good and bad because it's ignores stuff. One of the things we're going to be seeing later on in this recording session is for certain enemies, attacks that ignore defenses are stupidly powerful in this game. Because some enemies, their entire shtick is, my defense is through the fucking roof.
Right.
Like,
That's actually very similar to Breath of Fire 2, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. But like...
Yeah, and anyone who wants to sit down and play this game, I highly recommend getting at least one on your team. Because the Eaters, the Nautilus Japan tentacle things, their whole shtick is really high defense. So bringing in something that can ignore defense just speeds those fights up so much.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Because if you know what you're doing, they're not particularly difficult fights, but they can be tedious if you don't have somebody that ignores defense.
Right. That's typically how, like, turtling up works, is you just kind of try to time people out and hopefully you beat them before they beat you.
Yep. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's Ghostface!
And crazy hair.
Yeah, new character.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see her.
Okay.
Um,
Oh wait,
So-
why am I saying crazy hair? Everyone has crazy hair.
yeah, in fact, I think she has the second most reasonable hairstyle of everyone on this screen.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Like, Ghostface has a relatively normal hairstyle. Because he's like a straight man character.
Yeah.
But like, Twin Beehives is a little bit better than Wild and Crazy and Bright Red Twin Tails.
Yeah. Curving twin tails at that.
Yeah.
You know she
So-
gelled that.
We're introduced to yet another subplot where there is a schism within the hacker group where Ghostface, who, if you remember, has like Digital Satan as his teammate,
Right.
is like, no, dude, seriously, you're being a jackass. Stop leading all these other hackers down the path of jackass. And Jimmykin's there's like, you're not my dad, I can do what I want. And then Cold Hard Bitch there is like, I will fucking cut you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, plot is happening, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So, Jimmy Kim is gonna fuck off and be like, well, I'm gonna go find some more powerful things. I'm gonna start my own hacking group with blackjack and hookers.
He's a fucking man-child.
Oh man, he's fucking great. He's talking shit to his boss, to his boss's face.
Yeah.
Talking shit about his boss's girl or whoever the fuck she is.
At least he's got balls, I guess.
Yeah. No, he has got... He's the kind of person who min-maxed for balls.
Yeah.
Probably should have put a few stats into brains, but, you know, whatever. Min-maxing, he gets far enough with it.
Yeah. There's a character in the Goblins comic named Min-Max who dumped brains.
Yet, the reason why he's leaving is like, I have to go do my job now, so you kids have fun playing. I'm gonna go make tons of money.
Yeah.
Now she steps up and is getting all up in our face. But she's actually being kind of cool about, like, you know what, I don't care who you are, I don't want to deal with you, leave.
Yep.
Except the curve.
Uh-oh.
Now she wants their dick. Everyone wants to write bad fanfiction with these two. Just took one look at him like, oh, I can write so much bad yaoi with these two.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Now, to be fair, from what we see of her later, she could totally kick our asses.
Uh-huh.
She is fucking tough.
Okay, that's good to know. I kind of figured.
Yeah.
She's like the second hand of this major hacking group.
Yeah. But Ghostface is like, nah, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not time for your boss fight yet. We need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been fighting enough already.
Yeah, they just had one boss fight. We need to give them a break. It's in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts in JRPGs where, like, a clearly tough enemy shows up right after you had another boss fight, and then for some contrivance they leave before fighting you?
Like, I don't mind it, but it gets old and predictable, so I'd like to see that subverted at some point.
Speaking of subversions...
Uh-oh.
She immediately admits, no, I didn't do jack shit.
That's surprising.
It's all this guy.
Hmm.
And that's kind of the first sign of, like, oh, maybe she isn't objectively horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Hooray.
maybe she can grow. Now, one other thing I want to point out before we get out of this zone is the name of this place, Prolon.
Uh-huh.
I found out between our last recording session that's an actual place.
Oh.
Well, it was.
Okay.
So, in either China or Hong Kong, Corrections Fox will fix me on this one, there was, like, this 4-block section that was just walled-off slums, and they built up to, like, this 10, 20-story complex of interlinking slums that were just built on top of each other.
Huh.
And it's like, take Midgar or some, like, cyberpunk Chinese dystopia, cut out a perfect cube of that, and just send it to some part of China.
Wow.
And that's what this place was.
Okay.
Like, in the late 90s, they tore it down. But until then, it was like, hey, do you want cyberpunk right now? Head here. You're probably going to get your organs harvested because it's just completely infested with crime. But it was this really neat place. That they were like, yeah, seriously, there's so much crime in here, we just need to tear the whole fucking thing down. Like, it got to the point where the police wouldn't even go in there.
Holy shit.
Because, like, no, this for all intents and purposes is a city-state of slums.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that fits this place perfectly, so there we go.
Yeah, because it's just junk data built on junk data, and it's where all the criminals hang out.
Yeah.
And here comes the first super predictable plot twist. Humans didn't make Digimon.
Oh
They're not
my
programs for
God.
hacking.
Wow.
Shock. So, this is something that all the Digimons have in common, all the different plot lines and video games and the alternate realities and different whatevers. The digital world is in fact a parallel dimension into itself.
Okay.
And all of the digital space humans created artificially is like, oops, we're accidentally kind of tunneling into this alternate dimension to store our porn.
Okay. I mean, that sort of makes sense. Computers are fucking magic as they are.
Yeah, no, we're not making this artificial construct of space. We're breaking into somebody else's space entirely.
That's
and
great.
these creatures live here, and weird shit is happening as a result.
I mean, that sort of makes sense for, like, why plots can happen in Digimon with any sense of weight.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're explaining why this crossover is kind of happening. I do like Agumon and Gabumon's Japanese voice actors, though.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Do you have a choice of switching between Japanese and English in this?
No.
Okay, so it's all Japanese. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, they did not pay to dub this, because there is a fuck ton of dialogue.
Yeah.
And Digimon does not have the pull it used to back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have their plot. They're here to do something. They're on a mission.
We're on a mission from God.
Yeah, they need to save the orphanage.
World domination.
Predictable plot twist number 287. They have amnesia.
Oh my god. That is
Now-
something that just needs to stop.
Now, to be fair, there's a relatively decent reason for them to not be able to remember why they're here.
I'm sure.
And when they do remember, it makes sense why they remember then.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, amnesia is a really lame plot point.
Yeah. Well, it's alright, but it's so easy, and it's so cheap, and everybody
And so
does it.
overused. Yeah.
So it's just boring now. So stop.
And now we actually see Nokia doing what Nokia does.
Dancing back and forth with her eyes closed and her arms raised?
No, she's trying to inspire them to do their best.
Yeah, I know.
Though she does have a fun way of doing it, where it's like, we'll do our best. What do we do? I don't know yet, but we'll do our best at figuring out what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, as far as characters like that go, that's a decent enough use of that kind of character.
Yep.
But yeah, now...
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. This is something you see a ton of in Japanese media, especially Japanese media, like, made for youth people, like youth culture and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Is, like, characters that are just walking inspirations. Like, their whole goal is to cheer everyone else up and just be, like, encouragement for everybody.
Yeah.
You don't really see a lot of that in a lot of Western stories. Even, like, you know, power of friendship. We can do it if we work together.
Right. Like, I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z, where every character except Goku and Gohan, and Gohan even becomes this character, but every character is basically that archetype. They are there just to cheer on other people, to stand by and watch as they fight.
Like, even Vegeta,
Yeah.
who should be able to hold his own,
Doesn't.
like, no, his entire purpose in the Frieza fight was stall for time and then die dramatically to inspire Goku.
Yeah.
Even though his whole reason for being on that planet is, I want the Dragon Ball so I can go fucking murder Goku.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, that show just bothered me so much near the end, because it was like, okay, I'm so tired of Goku doing everything. Even when he's dead. Even when he's dead, he's the fucking only guy who does anything. Like, Gohan didn't even win against Cell. He had to have Goku's fucking help.
The entire Dragon Ball Z fight problem chart was, okay, find Goku, Goku will solve problem. Is Goku dead? Find way to bring Goku back to life so
Yes.
Goku can solve problem.
Yes.
The only two arcs where that wasn't the case, the Cell arc and the Garlic Jr. arc, was when Goku very expressly was like, no, guys, either solve the problem on your own, I'm busy, or no, Goku needs to become an adult. But like you said, even by the end of that, he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna help him out anyway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That was one of the reasons I kept watching Bleach, even though it became Dragon Ball Z, is because other characters actually did things.
Well, funny you should mention that. That was what killed it for me with Bleach.
Oh, yeah?
Because every fight boiled down to one of three conclusions. One, the character either had a power that conveniently countered the opponent's power.
Yeah.
B,
the metal guy with his... Like, the bird with the metal wings happened to fight the guy who could change metal and double its weight.
Yeah. B, they get their ass handed to them, and then they pull a new power straight up out of their ass.
This is true.
Especially when it's like a hereunto unmentioned new form. Or three, they get their ass kicked, and then out of fucking nowhere, a character whose powers conveniently counter the bad guy's power Deus Ex Machinas onto the screen.
Yep, this is true.
And it's how every fucking fight went, and it got so fucking annoying.
That's why I stopped watching after they finally beat Aizen.
Yeah, like I couldn't make it that far, the whole Hueco Mundo thing.
Oh, yeah.
It led to one of my favorite fights.
Yes.
The Mayuri Kuritsuchi versus, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that fucker's name.
Yeah.
Where they just, like, two kids in a sandbox to each other where it's like, I can do this. Well, I can do this. Haha, I have a way to counter that.
Yep. That was pretty glorious.
Oh yeah, no, that was so bad.
Which is funny because it employs one of the ones you were talking about, the power out of the ass thing. It's just that it was so absurd and so hilariously awesome that it worked out.
It's kind of the same thing where I hate so many dragons, yet I love Silumgar, even though Silumgar embodies it. It's because they take it to such a ludicrous extreme. It's kind of funny.
Entertaining, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like JoJo. Like,
yeah.
Because JoJo probably wouldn't be funny or fun or entertaining or like even exciting if it wasn't so over the top with everything it did. Because that centers almost entirely on just pulling everything out of the ass. But it's like within
anything with Star Platinum is pulling it out of the ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like Star Platinum has like 3 powers to begin with that you know of. And then all of a sudden it can stop time too. It's like, what?
Or 90% of the Joseph fights.
Yes.
Just bullshit your way out of it.
Yeah.
The Joseph
He does
Cars
that within
fight.
his power set though, which is
the
cool.
Cars fight.
Oh god, yeah.
That whole thing was just everything out of the ass.
Yes.
Nothing was set up. Nothing.
Which they then lampshaded at the very end. Was this all in your plan too? Yes, of course it was all in my plan. And he thinks to himself, none of this was in my plan. I just want to piss him off. It's glorious.
Alright, so what's going on screen? We have reconnected with Sad Sack McGee here, and we have run into the subway station, which apparently is being pulled into the digital world.
Okay.
So now we have digital shit starting to bleed into the real world. So plot is happening.
Yay!
Yay! The plot is moving forward. Also, for those who are interested, once you get into this dungeon, if you didn't get the pre-order DLC, this is where you can get like everything else you need for the, big flowchart of Digivolutions. And once you get to this dungeon, you can pretty much get whoever you want and start running all up and down the chain and going completely nuts with it.
Okay.
Because I showed it in an earlier episode, but since it's been a while, I'm going to repeat myself. One of the cool things about this game is any Digimon can have any skill that isn't the signature move of that particular Digimon. Because you can run up and down the Digivolution chain as much as you fucking want. So if somebody has a magic skill or a special move or a buff that you want, you can level them up to the point where they get that, and then de-digivolve them and re-digivolve them and go all up and down and build like these crazy things.
Okay.
And this is where you get like the final pieces that can go backwards into like the other baby forms you wouldn't normally be able to get.
Okay.
Yeah, now this dungeon, more than any other I can think of in this game, suffers the problem of, here's a small talking cutscene, take 2 steps, here's another small talking cutscene.
Right.
Like, that door, that staircase, you see at the end of the hallway, a new one is going to crop right up there, and then once you get down those steps, another one is going to trigger.
God damn it.
And then that's an L-shaped hallway. When you get to the curve in the hallway, another fucking one triggers.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing lately. Like,
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons I've stopped kind of buying new RPGs, is because they've stopped understanding what makes RPGs interesting, and they don't understand pacing anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll probably get into this more when we play Breath of Fire, but Breath of Fire 6 recently came out in Japan. I don't think it's out here yet. It's a mobile game, so that's like strike one. And it's combat is garbage, so strike two. But like, the thing that just clinched it for me was that it has this sort of move, talk, move, talk, move, talk, and it has the character models, except that they're not even moving because, you know, it's a mobile game. And it just does this kind of thing, and it's so obnoxious, and it just breaks the flow of everything. Like, whatever happened to the character sprites actually moving around and expressing? Like, I know that it's happening here, so props to that. But like, even in older games, you had a bunch of different little sprites that people used, like surprised or sadness or anger or whatever, just anything like that. And they used them to make the characters match what they were talking about, and it was beautiful. It just worked so well.
Speaking of, so this is the first time we've met up with Sad Sack since we got back to the real world. And he's like, "You're a cyber sleuth? What, like a digital detective? Pfft, whatever. That's not cool. But what's it like? I want to know, you know, purely for academic reasons."
Right.
So, like, here we have Sad Sack's character starting to get fleshed out more. Because he's trying to be all cool and aloof and just like, yeah, no, whatever,
Right.
It's not cool.
He's trying to be
You think you're
Sasuke.
cool? You're not cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, man, these highbrow concepts, I'm going to have to explain them to you, don't I? Because you just don't know.
Yeah. Let me Google that for you.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
I want to hear more about that cyber sleuth then.
誤解すんなよ。別に面白そうだとかやってみてとかそういうんじゃねえから。純粋な知的好奇心だよ。
I kind of love it in a horrible way when real people pull this. Where it's like, tell me about this. I'm not actually interested. Just, you know, academic curiosity. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
go into all of the details. I get this a lot, especially when, like, a creepy fetish comes up. It's like, wait, what is that? Tell me everything about that. I'm not into it.
Yeah.
You know, what is it like? Really?
Curious.
Yeah.
Like, it always seems to be a sort of defensive maneuver whenever people do that. And it makes them look like an asshole.
So, in the defense of this game, the take 3 steps and then cutscene crops again, thematically makes sense in this. Because he tries to play it off as like, okay, you know what, fuck it, forget it, I don't want to know.
Yeah, and then
you
he's
make
like,
it
okay,
down the
I really want to
staircase.
know.
It's like, fuck, tell me everything.
Yeah. That does make sense.
Random Japanese flashbacks happen.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, so that just happened. Oh, and there's the ghost. Hi, ghost.
Ghosty.
Bye, ghost. And then they do the gag where it's like, oh, what ghost? You mean the ghost that appeared behind me and then disappeared? I don't believe you.
Because, of course, that's what you do with ghosts.
Like, I know that's how most people would react in the real life, but like 90% of ghost stories pull this. And I think the only one that even started to set it up right was the remake of Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, the remake of Evil Dead, the whole plot was like, hey, we're gonna take this girl out into this cabin in the woods and kind of force her through rehab because she's a drug addict. And then she's the first one to start like seeing and experiencing all the haunting stuff.
Oh, that'd do it. See,
And for like 5 minutes, they play it off as the characters like you're just going through like drug trips and
yeah, that actually makes sense.
The one sad thing is they don't really do a lot with it. It's used for like all of 3 scenes, and then shit starts popping off.
Oh, okay.
And like on the one hand, it's like yeah, you want to get to the action, and the Evil Dead remake for a remake is really good.
Okay.
Like it has a couple of moments where it's trying to pull the old Wes Craven stuff, but like the tone is really off when they do that.
Okay.
But when it's trying to be its own thing, it's actually pretty effective.
Okay, good.
My only wish is that they had kind of done more with that, because that's a really interesting angle for like a haunting story where it's unreliable narrative, where it's like, okay, the one person who's seeing all this, they're going through like withdrawal, so are they actually seeing it?
Right. It sets up a sense of mystery, which is actually good for horror because, you know, the unknown and all that.
Right. And now we